Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskrityam Naran Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamutire Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Today we are discussing, continuing the Canto 1. We were doing chapter 5. We are continuing that. We are today going to share a few points from text 21. So it's 1-5-21. Tvam ātmanām amogha-dṛk parasya puṁsaḥ paramātmanaḥ kalām ajam prajātaṁ jagataḥ śivāya mahā-anubhāva abhyudayo adhigaṇyatām tvam ātmanām amogha-dṛk parasya puṁsaḥ paramātmanaḥ kalām ajam prajātaṁ jagataḥ śivāya mahā-anubhāvābhyudayo adhigaṇyatām. Translation and purport. I'm sorry, I did not share the screen. Let's just. Yeah.
Prabhuji, which sloka this one in Bhagavad Gita?
Yeah, Prabhu. It is on the screen now. It is 1-5-21, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Śrī Kṛṣṇa. So let's do the translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Your goodness has perfect vision. You yourself can know the Supersoul Personality of Godhead because you are present as plenary portion of the Lord. Although you are birthless, you have appeared on this earth for well-being of the people, of all people. Please, therefore, describe the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Śrī Kṛṣṇa, more vividly. Purport is a small one, so I'll read it. Srila Vyasadeva is empowered plenary portion incarnation of the Personality of Godhead, Śrī Kṛṣṇa. He descended by his causeless mercy to deliver the fallen souls in this material world. The fallen and the forgotten souls are detached from the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The living entities are parts and parcels of the Lord, and they are eternal servitors of the Lord. All the Vedic literatures, therefore, are put into systematic order for the benefit of the fallen souls, and it is a duty of the fallen souls to take advantage of such literatures and be freed from the bondage of material existence. Although formally Sri Narada Rishi is the spiritual master, Srila Vyasadeva is not at all dependent on the spiritual master, because in essence he is the spiritual master of everyone else. But because he is doing the work of an acharya, he has taught us by his own conduct that one must have a spiritual master, even though he be God himself. Lord Krishna, Lord Sri Rama, and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all incarnations of Godhead, accepted formal spiritual masters, although by their own transcendental nature, they were cognizant of all the knowledge, in order to direct people in general to the lotus feet of Sri Lord Krishna. He himself, in the incarnation of Vyasadeva, is delineating the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Let's invoke the prayers before I share a few reflections on this verse. Om ajnana-timirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrijatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalitan Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Pancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Śrīvāsadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev ki jai. If you don't mind, I'll stop the sharing. Hare Krishna. So, tvam ātmanātmānam amogha-dṛk parasya puṁsaḥ paramātmanaḥ ajam prajātaṁ śivāya mahā-anubhāvābhyudayo adhigaṇyatām. Hare Krishna. So far we've heard in the past, right? Narada Muni was, what is he doing? Let me just get a little bit of a brief, and then we will get on to the words, because we had a small break. So Narada Muni was giving a very graphic analogy of a crow. Is telling Vyasadeva, all that you've written so far is for a crow. What does crow do? Go to the garbage. But whereas bhakti is, he's also shared a little later, he said bhakti is the only valuable asset. And in the last few verses, it was learned that even if you fall down while executing bhakti, there is no loss. Even if you give up the practice, there is no loss, right? That was the mood and the build up to all the other these verses which we are discussing. Particularly these verses going from 20, 21, Varadraj did the 20th verse, 21 and 22 is more vividly stating that please glorify only about Krishna. Okay, so we'll see some reflections in this verse, right? So far, whatever there been, what is the result? If you do a karma yoga, when you follow that, what do you achieve? You achieve only purification. Then we learned that jnana yoga, and even if we enter samadhi, we get some glimpses of joy. Okay, whereas how is bhakti yoga? It is susukam. It says kartum avyayam, inexhaustible, unlimited dynamic emotional exchanges with the Lord, right? That makes the process of self-realization, whatever we want to call it, spiritual growth, more ecstatic. Yes, all the scripture says Sat-Chit Ananda, we are God, but Srila Prabhupada stresses on the fact that we are more importantly godly. We are godly. That is what, if you hear any of the lectures of Srila Prabhupada, he emphasizes on the fact that we are godly. So it is important to focus or build our relationship. The need is to build the relationship, that sweet, loving relationship with the God, and don't get caught too much into the impersonal aspect. We have such a wonderful personal philosophy here, but we somehow, the whole material world is glorifying impersonalism today. I mean, anywhere you see, people are replacing, these days you hear, right, Alexa, or I don't know what is the other name, some Siri or something. Everything happens in a mechanical way. I was told that even somebody to get milk, if the refrigerator is out of the milk, it will give him a beep or something like that. The latest I heard, somebody was wearing a watch and it tells me when to drink water. I was feeling so sad that you drink water when you are feeling thirsty. So much of glorification of impersonalism. Whereas you see the impersonal aspect, there is a wonderful, emotional, loving relationship with God and with devotees, right? There's so much software and systems have taken over. We need to be very careful to, yes, these are all there, kept rules and regulations are there, but it is It's the dealings which is very important. We are so much disconnected from Krishna. Anyway, coming to the verse, particularly today, Vyasadeva, what is he saying? He's an avatar himself. Srila Prabhupada starts with this line itself. The beginning is the plenary portion, but he still accepted a guru. Lord knows everything, right? In the very first sloka, it says, right? Janmadi, Bhagavatam first sloka, that itself is an, he knows everything. He is created. He knows the yantra, what we have, what called the spirit, human body. He knows what is inside that. It's very complex, but he knows not only this yantra, even the bigger yantra, mahā-anubhāva prakriti. He has all the 6 opulences. One such opulence is knowledge. How many he knows is all, not just one. Himself, he knows all the species, how many 84 lakh species, how many of them are devotees, who are not devotees, what are there, how much to each individual person, what he has to get the karma credit, when he has to remove, when he has to give them the right, spiritual credits, everything he knows. Like sometimes if we need to, people who are working in corporate will have something called a database, right? We all have our clients, or even, for example, all our Bhakti Viksha leaders will have the details of the devotees. And we write next to them when their attendance, how many rounds they are doing. Suddenly, if our leader asks, we may have to go back to our laptop and check it, because we don't have it everything by heart, right? We need to capture in an Excel sheet. We need to sort it out and find it. For Lord, it is not necessary. He doesn't forget us. Even if we have forgotten him, he doesn't. He reminds us. He doesn't forget. Just imagine all the demigods, for example. For why we are talking of the Supreme Lord, Bhagavan Krishna. Look at demigods. They're so perfect, right? Imagine, has sun any day told up that, I'm sorry, my dear Lord, I got up a little late today. I didn't come up in the morning. No, right? Imagine all of them, Chandra, Indra, Varna, everybody is performing their duties perfectly. Why? Because they are empowered by the Lord. Imagine if the demigods are so perfect. How about the Supreme Lord? There's no defect, right? There, Lord says he's not, though he comes into the material world, none of these 3 modes affect. You know everything, right? That way, the Lord does not get affected with anything. He's full of information. Now he can go up to Mahavishnu, topmost of the creation, pick up somebody, help somebody, go to Patala Loka, right? So all this, you can keep on glorifying the Supreme Lord. What did he do? Then he asked, Srila Prabhupada says, Jiva does not know anything. He's forgotten. He's detached. He's detached and he's traveling in the material world. So Jiva obviously is traveling, is wandering. So he has given us, what did he do? He's given the secondary creation, the responsibility to Brahma. He in fact gave the entire blueprint and told, just create this 85 lakh species, different planets, right from Brahmaloka right up to Patala Loka, and then do it. But then Brahmaji realized that if this is there is no semblance, there is no peace. That is when he went back to Lord, and how to get divinity, how to calm everything down. That is when Lord says, give them the Vedas, the Puranas, all that. Now, who gave them to Brahma? Again, the Supreme Lord. So this dull jiva will get enlightened by hearing all the Vedas and get closer to Lord, or find a path going back to Godhead. Okay. I recollect saying this last time in one of the verses which I was previously sharing with you all. It says we have to find novel ways of preaching. I think our leader mentioned this point. In that, Narada Muni was trying to tell Vyasadeva, write scriptures as a love letter to all these jivas, right? That's the way the focus was. And sometimes I feel our japa should be such a way connecting to the Supreme Lord. It should be like our love letter to the God, right? That way we can build our relationship. We can see, very, very important that we have to develop this loving relationship, this emotion, all that is there, right? So how we can see in material world whether that how to see Krishna's love, or how can we perceive it through his energies, right? You can see the sun and the moon. We all know that, moonlight, how does it help us? It gives us 6 different type of juices required for the nourishment of the fruits and vegetables. We are all aware of this. We are aware of his energies. Let's take even mother and father. Battery down. So he's given us, Srila Prabhupada mentions that particularly when we have, when the babies are small, take not just the human babies, even if you take an animal baby, even if you take a donkey, they're very cute at the beginning. Srila Prabhupada always insists that the young one needs protection and love. It's Lord's arrangement, right? He makes them so cute, so that their parents, give all the love and protection which is necessary. Love to all other jivatmas. So he's created many things in the Prakriti, and so that all other people can keep themselves busy, and for all the other transcendentalists, he's given us the scriptures. Okay, whoever loses interest in material things and wants to develop enthusiasm to read and perform devotional service, yes, Srimad Bhagavatam is there. Now, scriptures he says it's for the fallen souls. Prabhupada mentions it's for the fallen souls. Now, Shastras are like the eyes. Okay, we have given us the Divyakshakshu. Once we get this, we can start seeing or understanding what is written in the scriptures, right? But Shastra's most important point here, it says, now, why is the fact that he's taken a guru? Because Shastra cannot be understood by ourselves, right? I had Radhesham Prabhu, his place. Radhesham Prabhu gave this wonderful example that if imagine if an Ayurvedic doctor is telling us, okay, now get into this jungle, huge jungle, and he says, I want some jadi booty, some herbs, right? How do we identify? I mean, it's huge. Everything looks similar from the specification you have, and the doctor has given you. But unless you know a bona fide, the doctor's assistant or somebody who's read that that particular, who's read about all the details about Ayurveda, unless he accompanies, he knows, we will not be able to find out who it is, right? It will be different. That is why in I think it is Shad Goswami Ashtakam, there is a beautiful verse. Nana Shastra Vicharanai Kanipunau Sadharma Samsapakau Lokanamita-karinai tribhuvane manye sharanyakarau Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajane Nande Namattalikau Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau. What does it mean? I offer my respectful obeisances on to the 6 Goswamis, Srila Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Srila Jiva Goswami, Srila Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizing study of revealed scriptures. What do? Their aim is to establish religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. They have honored all, they are honored in all the 3 worlds, and they are worth taking shelter because they're absorbed in the mood of the gopis, and they're engaged in transcendental loving service of Radha and Krishna. It says Radha Krishna Padaravinda. So they have performed a huge devotional service and made it possible for us. How? By easy language. Why do we keep repeating this factor that we need Acharya's explanation? Because imagine they have given us those complex nectar of instruction, Upadeshamrita, nectar of devotion, so many other books they've simplified and given it to us so that we can understand, we can read, and we can develop that love for Krishna. We can develop that connection for Krishna, which is most important aspect. Okay. Now, that is why this entire Bhakti Shastri course was there, and we were able to even complete it only because of such amazing Shad Goswamis who had made it simple for us. And Srila Prabhupada has made it even more simple by adding with a pure devotee writing and making it easier for throughout the world, not just people of Bharata or India. He's taken those scriptures and made it into small books and given it throughout the world. Now, Another example, I like this example. I'm sure many of you like the fruit, jackfruit. Radheshyam Prabhu was saying that if you want to actually personally take a jackfruit, it's very difficult, right? First of all, the tall trees, very tall trees, those fruits are not very easy or comfortable to pluck it, large ones. So with a lot of thorns, and even if you manage to get it out, breaking that is not easy, right? We have to dirty, even after dirty, it doesn't just go, it just sticks. But whereas an expert, right, what does he know? He knows that even before touching, I need to oil or, his hands, he knows a technique to remove it. The same thing with the Vedas. It's a big jungle, or the example which we gave there. You don't know how to search, we don't know how to understand it. And somebody was mentioning that even after reading 45 years of complete Vedas, what you come to know? Some karma kanda, upasana kanda, or many other aspects, but not so importantly, that aspect of going back home, back to Godhead, which is the path to take. Only pure devotee can help us in this, because they have Krishna in the heart. So the other point coming is to who can lead us? Only pure devotees can lead us to the shortcut, Golok Vrindavan. Approach these pure devotees. Why? Because they know how to go back to God. Sometimes, we give lollipops to children, no, going to school. And you're going to school, I'll give you this favorite one, take it. So he takes it, then wears this bag, he goes. And once he does this 6 days, 7 days, whatever, 10 days, we'll give it. After he develops this habit, do you think mother will keep giving him lollipop? He knows it's a habit, get going. Like Vedas are like that. It is just to get us into the habit of reading, right? So we cannot stick to the lollipop. So I heard also this incident where one Mataji was asking, apparently Srila Prabhupada was told that a particular lady that she was very beautiful in drawing. So she had asked, draw a human and, within that heart, Paramatma. So Prabhupada had given some, homework for her. Now, that lady, she had a doubt. She had a doubt as to if I have to write Paramatma. Sometimes Lord is standing in the Vishnu form, 400 form like this, but sometimes she's sleeping. Our dear Ranganatha Swami, he's sleeping like this. So she was having this doubt. Do I have to draw the Paramatma in a sleeping position or a standing position? Obviously, she went around asking devotees. Devotees said none of them could clarify her doubt. She said, I don't know. Now she was waiting. She has not started because she's got this doubt. She was waiting for Srila Prabhupada. Then Srila Prabhupada, she asked, Prabhupada, I want to know whether Lord is sleeping, or how is our Lord in our heart as Paramatma. Prabhupada said, you need to take 1,000 births to understand this. She was flummoxed, right? So do I have to take so many births to complete my drawing? So Prabhupada said, no, you have met a pure devotee and he will guide you. Just simply do it in a standing position, whatever he gave the instruction. Just so see how important it is to get hold of a pure devotee. Even Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur tells the story, right? I mean, of the person. It's a very famous story of a person who had come back to his village. He forgot how to go back to his Sasur, go back to his in-laws' place. So he had to then he saw the calf from that house. He said, okay, if I have to reach the house, best is to catch the tail. And he had a lot of trouble. This is not going to be easy. The calf was running because he was really catching hold of it out of fear, whatever. So some people even bet him thinking that he was trying to steal. But eventually the calf went back to the house and he reached back the house. The point is that the why we are telling is that very, very important aspect is to dovetail the guru, dovetail the pure devotee, right? It is very, very important. But why? Because Guru says that if you are for a bhakta, it is a sulabha partha, right? And we've just recently also heard that in our Bhakti Viksha, we were doing this verse, Klesho Adhikam. It says how for an impersonalist or for any other people, what is it? How the process of going back or getting perfection, Lord says is going to be very klesha, and how it is adhika. And what is the result? Gatir dukkham. So there also for others, it is very, very difficult, right? To who will show us the way? It's the Guru. Last point we will discuss, and then we will be open it for questions. how did Prabhupada mentions very importantly how our Lord himself has shown us the way, right? Until I accept a guru, others will not accept. So Lord, when he came down as Sri Ramachandra, he accepted Vashishta Manu. But I did not know this. I had heard this for the first time, that when the class was there, he told all of this. Vashishta Muni said that all of you please go. I have some personal discussion with Ramachandra. Took them inside. He circumambulated them 3 times and he folded hands. Why are you doing this to me? You know everything. Why have you come here? Then Lord Ramachandra apparently personally requested that you need to accept me, and then even that was accepted as an instruction. He says, if you want me to do, I shall accept it as a service. So the point is that how important the Lord has shown us the way. Śrī Kṛṣṇa also did that, right? Sandipani Muni. I believe when Sandipani Muni in his ashram, when they completed or when they graduated, you know, in our graduation you get a cap and you jump around, but there it was gifts. Guru used to give a gift. He asked everybody was asking something. When Sandipani Muni's turn came, he asked, what do you want? Sandipani Muni said, you are my biggest guru. What more I want a gift? You know, the guru is the one which we heard in that 15th chapter, right? Upward tree, how to cut all of them, how to cut the attachment, bondage. You need a kuladi. So the Sandipani Muni said, you are my biggest kuladi. What more I need? Or whatever. Guru is your boat. However you can say, you have come. I am so pleased. What more? Just give me the blessing, right? So I just will be your shishya. That's enough for me. So he was so pleased. The Guru was so pleased with the answer which Sandipani Muni gave, and he blessed him, saying that, okay, the Supreme Lord will be your shishya. And we all know that how Krishna and Balaram were there 64 days, learned all the skills, did not sleep in the night. They continued along with Sudama and many others. And the third example which Srila Prabhupada says here is even brought Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Ishwarapuri, and you know, who was accepted Ishwarapuri. Of course, they were all you know, that pastime itself is so wonderful. Maybe we should ask our leader to explain this, how beautifully Ishwarapuri served and how he took care of his guru and got a beautiful blessing that always Leela of the heart will be, Leela will be in his heart. Then this, when he had come to Navadvip, maybe we'll keep this for some other day, but it was such a beautiful pastime. We feel like hearing that tears will come out of your, it's a wonderful Leela. So point is that even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted him and offered him nice foodstuff, so many things. The point is they all have led in the front. Why? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's entire intention was to show how a devotee should be. His entire intention was, he never came in the form, never told anywhere that he is Supreme Lord. He used to close his ears. He says, I've come here as a guru. I've come here as a devotee, and to show us how to. Here, Veda Vyasa, here Narada Muni is his guru. But Bhagavan, he himself is the supreme, you know, that is in plenary incarnation, but likes to be a guru and likes to be a servant too. The Lord is so beautiful, so merciful, right? He's showing us how he is being a guru and how as a Lord, he can guide us through being as a guru. Now, that is why if you read only the Vedas, there is high chances that it can be misunderstood by our own attempt. We cannot understand it, we cannot read it, we have to have. That's why if you ever see that whenever we discuss, whenever we share, give Bhagavad Gita, we always say, please read with guidance of a devotee. Please connect with a devotee and then read it. It's all other books we don't, right? Everyone thinks that they in fact start from the last page and continue. No, but scriptures are not like that. Vedas cannot be understood. Many wrong you know, thoughts will come if you read, because somewhere something will be given. Okay, so jivas keep looking at the wrong example of scriptures, no, and try it for sense gratification. But we have to take a guidance of a guru and then understand this form of a spiritual authority. So these were the few points which I wanted to discuss today. So thank you again, Prabhuji, for giving me this opportunity for purifying. I hope I've covered. If there are any other points which is missed out, please help me understand this better. And if there is any mistake, please try and help me out too.